Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Now today I'm going to show you how to make hoops that you can run through and it'll give you points in Roblox Studio. Now this, I'm going to be making this within the same game we did the Speed Simulator series on, but I'm not going to actually be counting this as one of those episodes. It's kind of like just a separate episode if you would like. Now let's get into it. So we're going to go into the part here. We're going to actually make a ring first. I'm just going to disable UI by going top right and clicking UI. Now we're actually going to make a ring first. So to do this, we're going to go click cylinder, and then we're going to go click on a part that's just entered, and we're going to press F. And we're then going to drag it down to where we want it, or move it. Then we're going to scale it. So I'm actually going to, I've got the move tool on here. Just going to turn that off quick. I'm going to scale it quite thin and something like that, and you lot can go in as much detail as you'd like with these hoops. I'm just going to be doing like a rough sort of thing if you'd like. Now I'm going to duplicate this hoop and I'm going to bring it out a bit on the red by holding control and doing this. I believe it's command on Mac. Yeah, we're going to open up this red thing here. So we've got now a thick one and also a small one. On the thick one, we're gonna go to model, click on move, and I'm gonna say one stud. We're gonna once again hold control on the blue and bring it in, and then on the green, hold control, bring it in once, and we can untick the move. Next, we're gonna go to model and click union. Not union, sorry. Negate on the big part, and then we're gonna holding control, click the other part, and then press separate. Not separate, I pressed the wrong button. Union is what we want then want to create. As you can see, we've now got like a hole in the hoop. Now that's basically the very basics of unions. Anyway, we're now going to add in we're gonna rename this union to hoop. And we're then going to add in another part into this hoop, which we're going to drag down. And we're going to put it here, just put it anywhere really inside the hoop. And we're going to rename it to hitbox. Now you want to make sure both the hoop and the hitbox are anchored, so select both of them, go to model, and then anchor. Or not lock, sorry, anchor. There we go. And with the hitbox, we are going to scale it. And we're going to scale it outwards like this, and just make sure it sort of covers the whole inner circle, really. Only needs to be the inner circle. This is going to be the area, right, that you have to touch. So I'm going to do something like this. I'm just kind of play around with it. This is the area that you have to touch to get the points. Now, once again, you could use unions again to make it even more specific. So you could like cut these corners out with more unions, or you could use a whole nother cylinder on the inside and make that a hitbox, but for now I'm just going to leave it basic. Anyway, next we're going to scroll down in the properties, so view, click view and then click properties, and I'm going to close down the asset manager down there. Down here we've got the hitbox. I'm going to go down to the behavior, disable can collide, and still make it anchored, but I'm also going to change the transparency to 1 so we can't see it, and with can collide off it means the players can't like bump into it basically, but they can still touch it. So now we're going to add in a script to the hitbox, and we'll rename the script to hit, not that, hit, can't oh dear, I've just woken up by the way, that pretty long ago. We'll say, and now in this, we'll say script.parent.touched :connect function, like this. Now, what this is saying is script.parent is the part. The part is the parent of this script. .touched, so that means when an object, not just a player, whenever an object touches the part, we're gonna call a function here. So, this code here will always be called, so this code will be called whenever the parent of this script, so whenever this hitbox part is touched. Anyway, let's now inside these brackets add in a parameter called hit. Now this is what we're going to use to detect what object is hit, because as I say, it's not just players that can touch things, other objects can as well. So we're going to say local PLR for short, which is just short for player, or you could just say player, but I'm going to use PLR, equals game.players. This is where all the game's players are, this is where all the game's players are stored, sort of. Colon, get player from character, and then, so this will get a player from their character, so like from whatever they're wearing and things like that. Now in here we're going to say hit.parent, and I'll show you why we use hit.parent. I'll explain to you. When a player touches the part, what they'll do is say their right foot touches it, it will say right foot, not player. So we then, by saying hit.parent, that's saying right foot.parent, which is then equal to the character. So then we can get the player from the character, if that makes sense. But as I said, you'll remember that we don't just detect players here. We detect other things as well. So we detect any parts. So we're going to have to say if PLR then, and then whatever, that means if there is a player and it's not just another part. So if the player actually exists, then we'll run this code. And we'll say PLR.leaderStats. And if you have, I assume you lot have your own leader stats here, but I've just got points here, which I'm going to give myself. So I'm going to say, actually no, I won't give myself points, I'm going to give myself cash. Here, coins, money. So I'm going to say dot coins, dot value, plus equals 100. Or let's say 200. Like so. Now this is saying, this is going to get the value, so make this whatever value you want to increase. And then this is the amount we're increasing it by, if that makes sense. And now I'll just quickly demonstrate that. I'll play here. And I want to show you something. So as you can see, we're walking through it. So let's have a look real quick. We've got 947592, 950. It's quite like that. It gives us quite a lot. If we just kind of stand in the middle, it gives us a lot. So we need to fix that. So let me first of all go back to the server and clear all my points. You lot shouldn't need to do this, but if you do, just click current up here. Scroll down to your player, open your leader stats, and then find your thing. I'm going to set it back to 0 and then click current again. Yes, so look, it's giving us too many. So let's stop that and fix this. We're going to fix this with a simple debounce. So we're going to create a local, actually, no, we'll get back to that. What we're going to do is we're then going to say, after we've given the players the stuff, we're going to say script.parent, and then here we're going to say parent, we want to say script.parent, and then what this is going to do is we're going to get this here, and then we want to set the, we want to move this to say server storage or something like that. So what we can do is actually say local hoop equals script.parent, because that gets the hoop, because the hoop is the parent of the hitbox, which is the parent of the script. Then we'll say hoop.parent equals game.server storage. That'll move it to the server storage. We will then say wait, and then make this however often you want the hoop to respawn. So how often you want the hoop to respawn. I'm going to set that as 10 seconds, or just for testing 5, and then we'll say hoop.parent equals workspace. Now if we press play, you will see, jump through the hoop disappears, and give it 5 seconds and it comes back, and we can keep doing that. Now there will be a few errors, because if you can sometimes, it's hard to do, but you can sometimes glitch it where it gives you multiple coins at once. So, like we're talking, so you know the glitch happened earlier shouldn't happen, because it's all in one if statement, so it's impossible to kind of do it again. But just in case it did, we'll create a new variable up the top here called dbounce or db equals false. Then we're going to say if player then, and then if db equals false, then we'll do all this and put an end down here. And what we're going to say is, once we've done that, we're going to say db equals true. And then once it's back in the workspace again, we'll say db equals false, like this. And then this will stop any potential bugs if you're really quick, but none of them should happen anyway. As you can see, my coins up here is 3,600. I run in. Here we go. 3,800. And as you can see, it works lovely. So that's all I wanted to show you how to do this episode. And it was quite simple. Now you lot can go ahead, make your own hoops, design your own hoops. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.